Hi everybody. By popular demand, I'm doing a little video presentation on how to force bulbs. I think a lot of you know how to do this, but for those of you who don't do it, this is how I do it. And there's certainly other methods. So first I'm going to talk about forcing bulbs in small pots. And I like to do this with hyacinths and with tulips. The hyacinths, you just take a nice looking small pot, because this is going to be displayed in your house, so you don't want to use something too unattractive, and I just never see the point of a small ugly plastic pot anyway. And just fill it up almost to the top with a nice light soil. You don't need a heavy soil. Sort of a potting soil. And then take your hyacinths, and these are the Crystal Palace hyacinths. They're good for forcing, and they're a lovely, sort of a dark blue. And put them quite close together, and I think I can actually get 4 of these in this pot. There. Quite close together, as you can see. Just sprinkle a little soil over them. The tops should be visible. This is how forcing is done. You don't bury the bulb in the pot because it won't work. And then water it. And then this has to be stored for at least 10 weeks in a refrigerator or a root cellar like I have at around 40 to 50 degrees temperature. You bring it out in around late December and you bring it into a cool area. You'll start to get some shoots, and then you bring it slowly out into the sun and you'll have some nice hyacinths in late February or so. So that's how you do hyacinths in a pot. And then for tulips, it's much the same. These are the Rim's favorite. They're sort of a purple and white stripe, which I thought would be really pretty with this pot, which has some nice light green in it. And again, just, pack them right in there. Cover them with some dirt. Water them. And these need to be kept in 40 to 50 degrees for at least 12 weeks. And then you bring them out in late January or so, and they should bloom in early March, mid-March, around there. So that's how you do tulips and hyacinths in small pots. Another thing that I like to do is force hyacinths in vintage forcing glasses, which is really fun. These are very pretty glasses. I get them on eBay. They're all made in England. It's very difficult to find these of U.S. manufacture, although I know that there are some. Anyways, this is simple. It's the forcing period, it's the chilling period rather, that's key. You take your hyacinth glass, fill it up almost to the top, pop your hyacinth in there. This is the City of Harlem, which comes in it comes out sort of like a pale yellow. Chill it for 10 weeks in 40 to 50 degrees. Again, I keep it in a root cellar. One could also keep these, I suppose, in a refrigerator. I've never tried it. And then this is another type. And this is actually, these were made in the 50s and 60s in Dartington Glassworks in England, and they're made by a guy called Frank Thrower. Pop your little hyacinth in there. This is the Crystal Palace. And this is another type. And I have a bigger hyacinth in here. This is the Prince of Love, which is so big it would never even fit in this one. It's too big. So I'm really anxious to see if this huge bulb makes an equally huge hyacinth. That would be nice. So again, 10 weeks chilling, take them out, bring them into a cold room, sort of a chilly dark room for a week. You'll start to see sprouts come up, or the sprouts that are up already will become bigger and greener. And when they become quite thick, after a week or two, you bring them out into the light and they'll start to come up and blossom, and that will happen in February sometime, usually for the hyacinths. And I bring them out, I start chilling them around the end of October. I bring them out of the root cellar in late December. And I've been doing this for some years now, and it always works. And so if this is something you want to try, you really should, because this was very popular. The Victorians like to do this, and I live in a Victorian house, so I sort of like to get into some of this 19th century stuff. Now this is really the easiest kind of forcing. It doesn't require really any kind of chilling period, and that's the forcing of Tazetas. They're a type of narcissus. They're commonly called paper whites, but I don't like to use the term paper white because everyone thinks of these Ziva paper whites that don't really have a very pleasant smell, and I never use those. I buy various types of Tazetas from some of the really better bulb houses. These are called Golden Rain, and they make a double yellow flower. They're beautiful, and they have a very light, pleasant smell. So anyways, all you need for this, and it's really easy, great for kids because it's fun because you can see the roots coming down, growing as these mature. You take a nice glass container of some type, any type, and fill it a little bit of the way with stones so that you can see, so the roots have a little bit of room to grow. You place your bulbs in there, and again, as many bulbs as you can possibly get in there, because the more you have, the better show you'll have when they bloom. And then just sort of secure them by putting more stones on top of them, and then pour water in so that the water level reaches right below the bottom of the bulb. And sometimes it's better to have a taller glass container so that when the green stalks come up, they're supported by the glass. But another thing you can do is just simply tie, because these will become this tall, so you can tie the stalks, and that works pretty well. And you want to, after you've done this, you put these in a dark, chilly place for about a week or so, 10 days, till you start to see sprouts. Then you bring them out into sun right away. They require a good strong, you want to put them in a window with some nice northern, western, southern sun coming in, because they do require sun, just like all narcissus, just like daffodils do, to really bloom well. And they'll come up, these take longer than the Zivas. They may take 5 weeks or so, and so I'm kind of hoping I'll have these in bloom by around Thanksgiving, and then I continually do this as the months go by so that I have these blooming for me all the way through February. And so this is how you can have Tazetas blooming for you all from November, December, January, and February if you keep putting them up, and spacing that by about every 2 weeks. Put some up, and you'll have continued bloom for almost all the winter.